Okay, Lips, Rob, a pleasure to be speaking with both of you. And the Anvil documentary release for the 13th anniversary, what exactly happened to make it the 13th anniversary? Rob, do you have the definitive answer for that? Because most bands go 15 or 10 or 20, not 13.
Oh, well, the 13, I guess, worked out.
Our magic number.
Yeah, it just worked out without trying. Sasha last year had Rebecca's kid want to see the movie after he grew up, and they had some screenings, and it turned into a bunch of screenings. And from those screenings, some people who were in the movie distributor business offered to said this movie's got to be put back out, and
yeah,
and here it is.
and here it is. And your credit, the stars have been, singing the praise of the movie as part of the re-release. We saw Peter Dinklage present a screening. Yeah. Steve O will be. Matt Pinfield was part of a moderation. I'm curious, do you remember, Lips, the first celebrity or notable person that came out and went, "This is a great documentary. We missed Anvil"?
Celebrity? Oh, geez. Where do you begin with that?
It's been going on.
Where do you begin with that? It's like, yeah. I don't know when the first one was, but it's still endless.
Yeah, it still is like endless.
It seems like it never stopped.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a fantastic part of this story. And I say that because a lot of times when you watch a band documentary, you love the music more, but the personalities less. And in your case, I think most people started to love the music more and the personalities more. So turning that into a question, Rob, did you have any hesitation of putting your likable, wonderful, nice personality into the world through this documentary?
That's good. That's fucking good. No, all that Sasha said to me personally in the very beginning, way back, for this movie to be successful and work and be proper, all you have to do is be yourself. And I said, that's it? I said, well, that's going to be fucking easy. And that was it. So I was just being myself.
Lip, same question at you. Any hesitation? Because once you see the publicity photos, we see your sense of humor immediately, but we don't necessarily hear the humor in all of the music of Anvil.
I don't know. I'm not sure what you're asking me.
Oh, well, I'm asking, was there hesitation in putting yourself out personality-wise when you started?
Not at all. In fact, I embraced it. Let's go. In fact, that's what I hoped would work, and in fact gambled on. To me, I was the right guy to deliver it, because I was willing to be as honest and truthful and open to actually make it fly. Most wouldn't have the guts.
Right. And you guys have the guts. And I saw the movie in the theater, like millions of people. I'm assuming it's millions of people. It felt like it was millions of people who saw it in the theater. And it's great to see that get this re-release. But within 2 years of the film coming out, you guys were on the road with AC/DC. And it feels like it was a vindicated kind of presence, that it was all justified and everyone wanted to be your friend again. Yes. And there's Sasha.
Hey, sorry.
Like Sasha and I are both in the midst of doing something else. That's why I was late. I was booking my flights and room in Oslo for our next excursion. Anyway, that's a whole other story.
Well, let's interrupt my question here, because Anvil had, besides this great, wonderful re-release, which we can credit to Sasha, the excellent filmmaker, storyteller. Besides that, the 2020 studio album, the 2022 studio album, are you allowed to say what's coming next for Anvil besides promoting this and the latest album?
Sure. We have a new album. We're going to record it in 2023 in August in Germany, and it'll be out in 2024. And I'm not going to tell you what it's called.
Well, who produced this new record that's coming out? Can you say that much?
Well, it's going to be produced, but the one that we're going to make,
Yes, the one that you're
yeah,
gonna
we're gonna make it with the same production team that we made the last 3 albums with.
a loyal bunch. Well, hey, let me throw a question here to Sacha. Sacha, what was the song or album that hooked you on Anvil in the first place?
I mean, it was metal on metal, and probably the songs that I loved. I have this penchant for one of the songs on that record called "Don't Just Tease Me, Please Me," but
Yeah.
I don't think that Anvil likes it. I love that song. It's got great drumming. It's very Nugent-esque, but it's got great vibes. But yeah, probably March of the Crabs, 666. Those 2 songs particularly really spoke to me, and the whole record is just, you know, phenomenal. So that was the first thing that hooked me in, and then Forged in Fire similarly. And yeah, so, and then most recently Impact is Imminent, which is up with Anvil's finest, and they've now done 19. I mean, I'm not biased because there are 2 songs on the album that are named after my various nicknames. That aside, because I've been waiting 55 years for that. But it's a great record, and I think that, you know, people have received it in the great way that it should have been received. So it's exciting.
As a follow-up to that, Sacha, what was your gateway band into metal? Was it Kiss and Van Halen? Was it actually Anvil?
I mean, I loved the album Kiss Alive 2 when it came out, and so I was into that. I had a great gatefold sleeve, and the live show looked crazy. I saw Iron Maiden last night, and that was like, looked like the reality of what I hoped Kiss Alive 2 would be if I'd seen it in concert. It was just like crazy. But yeah, so that's what's happened. I got into it. I guess Kiss was the first band I kind of got into, but I grew out of them pretty quickly. And then I found 2 far more interesting Jewish rockers rather than Paul and Gene, Robb and Reiner. I thought it was time to like scale up the Judaism of the heavy rock, and I did. And so yeah, and then Anvil came pretty much within a couple of years of discovering Kiss.
Well, speaking of Jews and rock, of course, Geddy and I think Alex Lifeson is part Jewish, or at least are there Jews in
a total Jew, man.
Okay, so
he's Serbian.
So, but Holocaust
Yes,
ties to his
right.
family. Well, where I was going to go with all this is I'm currently writing a book about David Lee Roth, another fine Jewish gentleman in the world of rock. I'm wondering if Anvil ever crossed paths with Van Halen.
Yeah. I go, yeah, because some of it is good and some of it's not so good.
But wasn't it
Well,
Michael Anthony? Was it Dave and Eddie, or was it Michael Anthony mostly?
It's Michael Anthony that was kind of a dick, but I mean, David was indifferent. He didn't give a shit about who the fuck was around, and just whatever. But I think that Eddie seemed like a really good guy. I don't know. That's how it struck me. Very seemed like down to earth.
Were you in the room for that, Rob, or
Yeah, it was. That was. They were. Well, first of all, when we met them in that scenario, you know, we were just seriously just nobodies to those guys. They, you know, we weren't Anvil. We were just a bunch of guys, right?
Ah.
So, but it was cool to meet, you know, like these upcoming, you know, rock band guys. Yeah, David Lee Roth and the bass player were pretty well, a little bit out there, if you know, with the whatever. But yeah, Eddie Van Halen and his brother were very down to earth, quiet mannered. That's what I remember.
Well, thank you for that little detour. But the bottom line is this: we've got this wonderful documentary with bonus footage now out into the world. Sacha, was there a lot of great cutting room floor material when you're putting this together?
There was beyond. I mean, I had 300 hours of footage, and it was just so hard to know what to include. And then I realized the movie was really about artists who are committed to their craft and refusing to give up on their dreams. And so I thought, okay, if the movie's about the cost of refusing to give up on your dreams, not just financially, you know, to the families, to everyone, to the members of the band themselves, like how much commitment it takes to persevere, you know, when you're not getting the rewards that maybe other bands are getting. Then editorially, I was able to kind of make every scene in one way or another relate to that central theme. And I think, you know, movies I love, there's a central idea that you can almost sum up sometimes in one line. Like The Wizard of Oz is, there's no place like home, right? That tells you the whole story of the movie, and the whole movie is in one place, in one sense, about home, about being away from home, about coming back home, about what it means to not, and realizing there's no place like home, So this was the same thing, just applying those rules that one might, discover in other films, and that made the editorial process easy. So the movie is 80, or not easy, but it made it clear.
Mhm.
And it's an 80-minute movie, an hour and 20 minutes, and I think that really works in terms of getting clarity, because I could have made 52 different movies, but the one I wanted to make was really the one that I think was the closest to the truth, the most honest, authentic, and intense metal movie I could make was what you see.
The last question I have before I let you all go, and I don't know who this one goes to, is, without spoiling the end of the movie for those who still haven't seen it yet and hopefully will, Japan plays a big role in this movie. I'm wondering how Masa Ito and his team felt about being such a central part of the story after the fact. If they took all this pride in it, or they were embarrassed, or what it was.
I know.
I don't know.
I don't know. I have no fucking idea how Masito felt about Tulips. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. We don't know how they felt.
I don't think you could get a better Anvil answer. No idea.
Well, my
And
assumption.
by the way, in
Yes.
case you're wondering, I have no idea either.
I'd like to give you an answer, but I don't fucking know. I don't know.
Then substitute last question before you're let go. Rob, do any photos of you and the director Robb Reiner exist?
No. I've never met the Putz.
Sasha, I think you need to make that one happen through your.
Well, I think there's a difference. There's Robb Reiner, R-O-B, and then there's Robb Reiner with R-O-B-B.
Mhm.
And over the years,
Yeah, but you got to remember, I'm the real Robb Reiner. He's the other guy.
I think it's amazing the carnage a single misplaced consonant can wreak.
That is the most Spinal Tap thing I've heard.
Really?
I think it is. It wreaks carnage.
Be a nun
One B,
black.
two Bs. It's such a fine line. It's almost, but Robb Reiner, the Anvil's Robb Reiner, is like a BB gun against the other Robb Reiner with just a single B.
If I can reiterate what I think you're saying there's a
Yes.
fine line between clever and stupid.
I think there's a fine line between murky and shadowy, and Irish and French stew are very connected, but it's hard to know where.
Guys, I can't top that. Thank you for making Anvil go back into the movie theaters. Looking forward to this next album, and thank you for the many years of great art, all of you, Sasha included. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Have a wonderful rest of the day, guys. Take care.
See you, man.
Paltrocast.